Compliance. The root of all suffering in life is compliance. No, it's not desire. Buddha is wrong. It's compliance. All our life, you're not getting ahead in our life. You're talented, but you're stuck in some place. You're not, making any change. You're not able to do anything or control anything. You're powerless because of compliance. You never think about it. But now you have to make a choice. After this video, you have to decide, are you going to be compliant or you are going to be free? And if you want success within the system, you have to be compliant because compliance, compliance, compliance. So I was, doing a project, interesting idea, which I did research with like Gemini and I even use deep research features. And I realized there are two companies and one company have some data, like their users data, and they want to, work with some another company and they have to share that data. Well, they ensure that the other company have all the compliance documents. Okay, like they might have the cybersecurity audits, which is like standard, or like ISO certificates or GRC, DPA, a lot of things. And if the company is not compliant, well, there is no way they can have the deal. Okay, like no company will work with some another company if the compliance documents are not proper. I was working on this problem, and in just 6 hours, I ended up making a complete micro SaaS end-to-end product because I have a really solid AI pipeline and even a team. But later I realized I started to look at this problem. I started to notice a pattern. There are a lot of things AI can solve, and a lot of things are around compliance. And I realized, man, this is not some company related thing. It's actually bigger than that. You want to start like selling things online. Well, guess what? Amazon has such a strict compliance. Go to any Amazon seller and just ask like how hard it is to get on Amazon's listing, and you will know. You want to sell some food product, okay? You are so good at cooking your stupid hamburgers, but the thing is, if you're not compliant for all these food companies' applications, well, no one is going to order your food product, okay? No one is going to go to your website to just order your hamburgers until unless you're a very big brand. They're going to go to things like some food application. And let's talk about like if you're a taxi driver and if you're not compliant for like the app which is like controlling all the taxis, well, you are not going to survive. And let's just go ahead, like you want to start a YouTube channel. Well, the thing is, if you're not compliant to YouTube algorithms and their policies and all, your videos will get deleted, or they how algorithms work. And this is, yes, this is also a part of compliance. If you're not following the right algorithmic way, the platform is not going to push your content, and you are basically on that platform, but you're not going to list above. Okay. And let's talk about like Google Ads. Okay, like if you there are such a strict compliance, if you cannot like if you cannot clear, if you cannot pass those rules and regulation by Google, well, your advertisement, they might reject it, and one day they will even shadow ban you. And let's talk about like some other stuff, like for example, Play Store. I was trying to release one app on Play Store, and for so many stupid reasons, and so many like they are even charging a lot of money, and even after that, it's not so simple. iOS is even more stricter if you want to get your app on iOS. And the thing is, there is no way, if you create something which is an app, because people these days only use app, and if you're writing a software, and if you're not releasing on these platforms, well, no one is going to use your stupid F-Droid. Okay, you have to be compliant. And I can just keep talking. You want to go to abroad to some country, well, there are some very heavy compliance when it comes to visa. If your documents are not proper, even if a little mistake, even if you're like a little bit not non-compliance, well, you are going to get out. You want to find a job, well, the thing is, these platforms which connects from job seekers with like people who are like giving jobs, if you're not compliant, if you're like not following the rules and regulation, if you're like showing yourself and it's not just compliance, it's not just like your documents have to be in check according to their rules and regulation. The thing is, you sometimes also have to pay money. You sometimes also need like certifications which cost so much. I was trying to register a company, and by just collecting like there are so many certifications which I need to have, and all these certification cost a little amount, and combining all this, and they always change. I was using some PayPal account, and recently they have like one KYC policy, and now I have to be compliant for that. Okay. And now many people might think, okay, I'm not going to follow all these rules. I'm going to shine in this world by my own. I'm going to have my own personal website where, I don't have to be dependent. But the thing is, if you want to succeed within the metrics, everyone is like looking like, if everyone is using phones and these phones are obviously not rooted, everyone is using Play Store. There's no way you can, like convince people to install APKs, especially when they are seeing this warning that this APK can be a virus which can harm your phone. If you don't show yourself, if you are not coming on platforms, okay, if you are not like, if you decided, okay, instead of YouTube I choose like Odyssey, or I have my own peer tube, well, good luck with that. Okay. So these platforms are basically monopolies. They are like a controlled environment. And the thing is, they are now using AI bots, and you're just human. And the thing is, no matter how hard you try, they're tracking their platform, they're gatekeeping it so hard. And in some way, they are also classist. A lot of systems are. If you are like not coming from some good background, there are a lot of things. Basically, it's their game, is that they have a monopoly and everyone is dependent on them, and there is no way you can make it in this world by not being compliant. Okay. But I'm not thinking about all this. I'm thinking about my product idea. So I started to feel like, AI can actually, because these companies are using AI, like I can actually create a lot of AI product to just solve this problem. Now I'm not going to make like the world a better place or something, but there are some rooms where I can create products which can actually make a difference. For example, like I might not be interested in solving B2B deals compliance, but I'm interested in solving, like, for example, a lot of people want to sell things on like Shopify or Amazon stores. So I can write programs which can like do some AI. It's like a safe environment where AI can do the compliance, because AI can understand the rules of the platform. It can, look at your documents or your media or your images, because on Amazon, if you're trying to sell something, they look at what picture you are uploading, and even if your white background is lacking a little bit pixels, like instead of like 255 255 255, if it's like 244 by I'm not going to say it three times, but I say so many words, like I should have just said 244. Okay, now I'm 244 244 244. But my point is, literally they just reject so many requests. They just literally just ban people from the platform, and they don't list properly. They have like some kind of bias. If you're not like following, if you're not a good boy, if you're not like a lap dog, if you're not like sucking their whatever rules they are like putting out, there's no way you can win in this world. No way you can get, I know a girl in like Tuting in the off-grid area near Arunachal Pradesh. She's a hard worker. You can never see her and say like she's not working hard, or she's literally waking up in the early in the morning, like 5 a.m. And every day she runs her independent restaurant independently. She haven't registered that business. She's just doing it. She literally served the whole town. Like everyone eats at her restaurant. Everyone knows her, but she's not growing. She's just there. There is no like no one is going to give her an award. Okay, no one is going to say you have done incredible things. And I know a woman who is running this app called like Root D. Okay, ROOTND. It's most stupid app which I have ever seen. It's literally a static website. It's just nothing but just bunch of information. But she released on iOS store, and she did like what she did, she just followed the rules very properly. Okay, she maintained her page. She created a good UI UX, premium looking stuff, and she did like SEO marketing and stuff. There are a lot of people like in mental health space who are like kind of wannabe. Okay, see, I'm getting panic attacks, so I'm having this app on my phone because I'm getting so many panic attacks these days. So they just want like they just want to be a part of this that cult. Okay, I'm not like dismissing any real mental health issue, but I'm trying to say that people who are doing like actual work, who are like literally adding value in the society and who are like literally working hard, but they are not playing by systems rule. They are playing independently. Okay. They're not like compliant. And if they try, their lives is going to become hell. So you have to decide, like, if you want that medals, if you want to succeed, if you want to study abroad, there are a lot of rules and regulation where you have to show yourself. You have to have like completely, basically in the end of the day, you have to be systems lab doc. So compliance is a big issue. It's basically, but from my, because I'm like a software engineer, I just want to solve problem. Like I just want to build stuff and make money, which is becoming really hard for me. But I'm thinking about like creating AI systems where people, because in the end of the day, people also lose a lot of money because they are non-compliant in many areas. So for example, I can create like an AI software which can, check your documents, and it can ensure that it's like a safe room. Okay. Like if you're getting banned by some AI, like if AI is telling you that like you might get banned in future if you forward these documents, or your work is non-compliant based on this platform, it's better, you will get like early warning, and AI can do it. So basically, because it's literally human against AI bots. If I create like just to empower humans now, like I have also need to create like AI systems which can make things more smoother, so many people won't get rejected, because as humans you make mistake, but AI bots don't do. Previously, these compliance were more easier because humans used to do it. They had like empathy and all, and some people might even say corruption. But I think like I feel like in a normal world things have to be a little bit less systematic and more like human involvement. But I don't, in the end of the day, it's super centralization, like all these, like I have no other option other than YouTube. Okay. If I want to reach out to people, and people also need to realize that, I mean, this will never happen, but in the end of the day, if you create monopolies, that those monopolies, because, YouTube can always say there are so many frauds happening. Okay. We have to be compliant. Play Store can say there are so many people and there are so many frauds happening. We have to be compliant. But it's authoritarianism. I really have a hard time saying this word. Yeah, it's basically trying to trick you into believing that we are trying to have like some scam prevention and all, but in the end of the day, it's about control and more control. And even if they are doing it, like, it's in the end of the day, it's for their benefit. Okay, like their platform, their rules, and we can't complain about it. But compliance is something which is all over the world. Okay, if you're like if if your documents are not in check, if you're not following rules, you can never grow in life. You have to register a company, and just registering a company will tell you how many compliance you have to follow. Even with the job, if you want like a job, you have to. Many people think, oh, I'm so talented, I will get like a really good job. That's not how things work. They will look at your experience. Okay, you have like 1 year your experience. They will just look at your all the paperwork, your previous salary, or and based on that, they will like just analyze, and no one is like working automatically. All right. So that's it. Yeah, that was my rant about compliance. And you have to decide, I will just choose the free way. Okay. Fuck that. Like, you don't want, you can live your life without following any rules, especially such giant systems rules. So, yeah. So more independence require you to just don't involve with the systems where you have to be more and more compliant. But yeah, I'm also choosing to be compliant in many areas because